Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into some seriously fascinating source material all about physical transformation. And get this, we're looking at how you can actually lose 40 pounds in just 3 months. And the crazy part? You do it not by starving yourself, but by actually eating more food. I know, right? Sounds completely impossible. But the secret here is to stop fighting a war against your own body and do something totally different. We're going to fix and completely upgrade your metabolism.
Okay, so let's dive right into this because there's this core conflict we've literally all faced. When we want to lean out, what do almost all of us do? We slash our calories into absolute oblivion, we spam cardio like 6 days a week, and basically, we just cut out all the happiness from our lives. We really think that's what works. But as our source material proves, what actually works is fixing and upgrading your metabolism. You see, that traditional yo-yo dieting, it doesn't just fail. It actively slows your metabolism down, which makes fat loss feel completely, totally impossible.
So, how exactly do we make that shift? Well, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover 1. The weight loss trap, 2. Why your metabolism is a car, 3. Upgrading engine and fuel, 4. Mileage and smart driving, and finally, 5. The 3-month blueprint. All right, let's get into it. Starting right off with part 1, the weight loss trap.
Before we can actually fix the system, we really have to acknowledge the painful and, honestly, almost universal mistakes that wreck our metabolic engines in the first place. The trap is so simple, but man, is it destructive. It's slashing calories, doing endless cardio, and basically removing all joy from your diet. Now, when you do this, you're not just losing fat, you're literally starving yourself and shrinking your muscle mass. And why does that matter? Well, because you are downgrading your body's fuel-burning system. So the second you slip up, say you have a totally normal slice of pizza, half that weight comes bounding right back, like it was just hiding behind the couch the whole time. Without even realizing it, you're destroying your body's natural calorie-burning furnace. But hey, there's a much better way to think about this.
Which brings us right to part 2. Your metabolism is a car.
Okay, the biggest myth we've got to bust right now is this idea that your metabolism is just some fixed setting you're born with. It's really not. You can crank it up, or you can totally crash it. To understand this, it really helps to map complex human physiology onto a super simple, everyday car analogy. Basically, there are 4 levers of fat loss you need to know. First, the engine size. That's your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Second, the fuel type. That's the thermic effect of food, which is basically how many calories your body burns just digesting what you eat. Third, miles driven equates to NEAT, or your daily random movements. And fourth, how hard you drive is your active exercise and workouts. I mean, just imagine grandma's little car that putters to the grocery store twice a month versus a literal F1 race car doing hot laps all day long. Which one burns more fuel? Exactly. And the best part? You control all 4 of these levers.
So, the ultimate takeaway from that analogy is this. You don't win a race by sprinting harder in a broken car. You win by upgrading the car. And honestly, that is the entire goal of this explainer. Forget the magic pills. Forget fighting your body through starvation. We really need to stop the self-destruction and start working with our biology by systematically upgrading these 4 specific parts.
So let's go ahead and pop the hood. Section 3, upgrading engine and fuel.
We're going to focus on those first 2 levers we just talked about, building a much bigger engine and making sure we're putting only premium fuel into the tank. First up, the engine, your basal metabolic rate. This represents the calories your body burns 24/7, literally just by existing. The massive takeaway from our source here is that muscle is expensive for your body to keep. Maintenance costs energy, so every pound of muscle you carry forces your body to naturally burn more calories around the clock. Simply put, more muscle equals a bigger V8 engine. So when the source material talks about training 3 to 4 times a week, the goal isn't to frantically burn a few calories during the workout itself. No way. The goal is to build and protect this engine so you're burning more calories while you sleep.
Next, let's look at the fuel. The crucial point here is the thermic effect of food. Again, the amount of energy your body spends just digesting your meals. The differences between the macronutrients are massive. Fats, they burn almost 0 to 3% during digestion. Carbs take about 5 to 10%. But protein? Get this. Your body burns up to 30% of those calories just breaking it down. That is literally a free metabolism boost built into every single meal. If you eat a high-protein meal, your body goes into overdrive just to process it. Which leads us directly to the fuel rule. Eat better fuel, not less fuel. Look, you technically can run a car on cheap gas, but eventually the engine runs worse, performance drops, and things just break. Our bodies are exactly the same way. The source recommends targeting 1.6 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, And let me tell you, locking in this protein target doesn't just quietly burn more calories, it naturally reduces your hunger, completely kills those late-night cravings, and significantly speeds up your recovery from workouts.
But here is the ugly truth. Half the quote-unquote healthy snacks out there are basically just junk food wearing gym clothes. The problem isn't the obvious junk food, like we all know a slice of pizza isn't health food, right? The real problem is ultra-processed food disguised as healthy. Things like low-fat yogurts, natural granola bars, high-protein snacks. If you flip them over, the ingredient list looks more like a college chemistry exam. They are absolutely packed with seed oils and sci-fi additives, like E102. Honestly, if your snack sounds like a Star Wars droid, it is secretly wrecking your metabolism and triggering massive cravings just hours later.
Now, because literally nobody wants to stand in the middle of the grocery aisle for 20 minutes decoding ingredient labels that look like Wi-Fi passwords, the source material points to practical tools like the Blue Map to instantly decode this stuff. First, you just scan the barcode of your healthy snack. Second, it uncovers all those hidden sugars, preservatives, and seed oils. And third, it gives you an unbiased health score. Whether you use an app like this or you just learn to read labels carefully yourself, the point is you need an instant reality check. You have to uncover those fake healthy ingredients that are quietly sabotaging your metabolic engine behind the scenes.
All right, now that we've got a massive V8 engine running on premium fuel, let's move to Section 4, Mileage and Smart Driving. We are tackling the final two levers of our car metaphor here, how much we drive and how hard. So let's talk about the miles. This is NEAT, or non-exercise activity thermogenesis. In normal human language, it's just the calories you burn doing random human stuff. Walking, standing, taking the stairs, or, pacing around your kitchen at 11 p.m. pretending you aren't looking for snacks. The source notes that this is arguably the most underrated metabolism booster on Earth. Without shedding a single drop of sweat or putting on gym clothes, a few hundred extra calories burned every single day quietly stack up for weeks and months into pounds of fat lost. Best part? It requires absolutely zero willpower.
So, what does this actually look like in practice? 10,000. That is the magic number of steps to aim for. The source transformed their metabolism simply by jumping from 2,000 steps a day to 10,000 steps. And you do this without upending your entire schedule. You just park at the back of the parking lot. You take a walk after meals. You pace around during your phone calls. And suddenly, the scale starts moving faster than it did when you were doing those brutal, exhausting cardio sessions. And hey, you aren't destroying your knees in the process.
And that brings us to how hard you drive. Think about flooring it, driving 90 miles per hour every single day, doing brutal cardio 6 times a week. It leaves you totally exhausted, your cortisol is sky high, and you're probably sleeping like garbage. Obviously, if you floor your car every single trip, you're gonna destroy the car. Here is the absolute biggest misconception in fitness. Exercise isn't just a calorie burner. It is a massive recovery demand. If your body is stuck in recovery mode 24/7, fat loss completely stalls. Instead, your focus should be on smart driving. 3 to 4 quality lists a week, focusing on progressive overload and really prioritizing your recovery. You want to push the muscles just enough to burn calories and build the engine without completely trashing your body.
Okay, so we've upgraded the engine, the fuel, the mileage, and the driving style. So how do we actually put this all together? Section 5, the 3-month blueprint.
Let's look at the exact, actionable timeline provided by the source material. This is the blueprint to pull it all together. Month 1, keep it stupidly simple. Walk more and eat real, high-protein food. Just lock those 2 habits in. Month 2, add in 3 workout sessions a week. Keep walking, keep eating clean. Month 3, stay consistent and live differently. Because by month 3, you've successfully upgraded all 4 parts of your engine. The fat is dropping, the muscle is showing up, and honestly, the best part, you aren't quote-unquote dieting. You've literally just changed the way your car operates. This slow, sustainable progress beats a 2-week starvation sprint every single time. Why? Because the people who win long-term are the ones still moving 6 months later.
Which leaves us with one final pretty important thought. Will you keep sprinting in a broken car? It's time to stop fighting your body, start working with it to upgrade your engine, optimize your fuel, and fix your metabolism once and for all. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this sparks the motivation for you to finally take control of your metabolic dial.